Thanks for coming out today. We appreciate it. Who has the first question?
I want to start with Dominick Reyes, please. Dominick, 2.5 years from UFC debut to now fighting the man that many say is the greatest of all time. I've got to ask kind of what's going through your head right now. What's the feeling like at this moment?
I'm pumped, man. I so much excitement going through my body. Like, I've worked extremely hard to get here, and it happened quick, and I'm ready to go.
You've seen the run of Jon Jones. I mean, he's fought the best in the world, and nobody's been able to figure him out thus far. What is it, whether a skill that you possess or a trait that you have or a strategy that you have that makes you different than anybody else Jon has faced?
That's simple, man. Like, I'm Dominick Reyes. I was born in Apple Valley, California. My upbringing was completely different than anybody he's ever faced. I'm lifelong athlete playing multiple sports, baseball, football, wrestling, track and field, and I excelled in all of them. And now I'm excelling at MMA and tend to do the same thing.
Thanks, Dom. Jon, I wanted to ask you, I mean, you've been at the top for so long. I mean, when you had...
We got a rough crowd today.
So, Jon, I mean, when you won your first world title, Dominick wasn't even a professional fighter yet. So I'm just kind of curious, your motivation, your excitement for fighting guys like this that, you haven't seen, you haven't necessarily watched, that weren't at the top, and they're just getting there. Is it more difficult to face guys like this?
It's good to see you guys today. How are you guys? Oh, that's good. That's good. God bless you guys. Glad you guys made it today. I'm super excited. Like Dominick, I'm fired up, I'm pumped up, ready to destroy. What was your question exactly? What?
I mean, when you were a world champion, he wasn't even fighting professionally yet. So I'm
Right.
curious if it's difficult to get excited for it's not like a marquee name or somebody that you've seen for years.
No, it's not difficult to get excited. Dominick starting off this whole thing with talking about party favorites and bringing up my past and stuff like that. It was exactly what I wanted and what I needed. Somebody who's tall. People think I do bad against tall people, so I'm excited for this challenge. He's undefeated. This guy tickles my pickle, and I cannot wait.
Pause.
I cannot wait to put my hands on him.
You still got quite a bit of time to prepare for him, but I'm curious, in your initial breakdown, your initial analysis of him, is there anything that he does that's more dangerous, that's more concerning than past opponents that you faced?
He's an elite level athlete. I believe I am as well. He has a lot of power and his left hand. But to call him different than anybody I've faced before, I don't know if I can do that at all. I've faced so many people with way more advanced striking. I've faced so many people with extreme knockout power. And I just got to go out there, respect him, believe, and just do what I do.
And just one last one, Jon. I know you're not looking past Dominick at all, but Israel Adesanya is the name that keeps coming up. And one day you say, I'm not talking about this joker. And then 30 minutes later, you're tweeting about him again. You know what I mean? So give me an idea of, your thoughts on Israel Adesanya, a potential matchup, what you just think about him as a fighter.
It's unfortunate that me and him have to take things this way. At the end of the day, if Israel wanted to fight me, that would be a gigantic fight for the sport. A lot of people talk about, well, why are you forcing Israel to go to light heavyweight? You never went to heavyweight. There's a gigantic jump between me and the heavyweights. Me and Izzy, we're only 15, 20 pounds apart. So if Izzy really wanted to fight me, he would do it. Izzy's a pussy, and there's really no way around. There's no way around it. So, and as far as him being in my head with the internet stuff, it's just fun. It's a lot of fun. The fans enjoy it when we chirp back and forth, and I like to keep the people excited. So that's all that's about. He is not in my head. He's not in my head at all. Actually, I'm liking the energy that he brings to the sport, and I'm liking being a part of it. And like I said, if he wanted to fight me, he totally would.
Thanks, Jon.
Mm-hmm.
Katlyn, I want to ask you, I mean, you felt that you deserved this opportunity and that you were kind of knocking on the doorstep for a long time. Now it's here. You're up on the big stage, you know, 2 all-time greats over there. I mean, what's your emotion finally getting this opportunity?
Hi. I'm super excited to be here. You know, I was like, okay, everyone's like, are you excited? It's finally here. And I'm not trying to like sound cocky, but I just knew that this would come and this would be my next step. So getting this fight, it's a long time coming and I wasn't super surprised, but I'm excited that it's here and I'm really thankful for the opportunity.
A lot of people certainly think that Valentina is one of the most well-rounded women's fighters in the game right now. I'm curious, you know, as you start to break her down, you know, similar to asking Dominick, I mean, what is it that you think you bring to the table that she hasn't seen so far, that she hasn't faced, that you can upset her?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people they talk about how dominant she is, and she's been a very great champion. And even before I was in the same division, I loved watching her fight. And a lot of people think of her as a very good striker, but I think that she's been very impressive with her wrestling and her takedowns. So yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable on the ground. I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. I think I'm probably the best grappler that she's ever faced, and she hasn't faced anyone with my style. I move. I don't just stand there and just go 1-2, 1-2 running forward like her last few opponents. I utilize a lot of footwork and head movement, and I can keep that pace up for 5 rounds. I prefer a 5-round over a 3-round. So yeah, I'm excited. We'll see how this works.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then if I could for Valentina, please. You've had an interesting year, right? I mean, you started out, you know, a knockout of the year, one of the greatest highlights of all time. And then the last title defense, maybe not as exciting, even though it was very dominant. So I'm curious for you right now, in these title defenses, what is important? Is it just making sure you get wins and hanging on to that title, or do you feel an obligation or a desire to want to have those, you know, knockout of the year moments?
First of all, no offense to Katlyn, but you know, all my opponents, everyone, they was thinking before face me that I didn't face no one with their style. So this is the point. Katlyn, she is well-rounded fighter. She good striker. As she says, she know ground game, but it's fine. It's okay. I hope that she will bring everything for her because this is what I want from the fighter. This is what I want from the opponent. And what I gonna do, dominate the fight the same way. I will prepare myself in my best shape and do the great job as I. This is my mindset. Not to go to the fight just to have fun. No, only to win. Only the victory. What's important for me.
And my last thing for you, Valentina, listen, I think you're becoming one of the biggest superstars in the sport. I know you can't look past this fight, but what are your goals for 2020? What do you want to accomplish in the sport, whether it be other divisions, multiple, you know, fights, opponents? What is it that you want to accomplish?
I want everything. Everything. Doesn't matter what. I don't know. I don't know what happened tomorrow, and you want me to say about all 2020. I don't know. It's very hard to say, but I know for sure I'm professional martial artist. I'm truly fighter from the top to the bottom, and I know that martial arts it's not just my work, it's not just my career, it's I am martial artist. Martial arts it's in my vein and I will be here forever.
Right down in front here, a couple questions for Jon Jones. I know the last few times that we've spoken, your last 2 fights, there wasn't a lot of trash talk, a lot of bad blood, and you said that was a welcome change, you know, because you weren't used to that. Now it seems like we're right back in that. So how did this bad blood start?
Well, Dominick wins his last fight out of nowhere. We've never met in person. I've never shaken the guy's hand. And the guy, instead of just being cordial or just being a martial artist and showing a degree of respect, he gets on the microphone, young and immature, and goes, I don't need a party favorites. I need the world title. And that's how it started. But it's all good. We're here now. He got what he asked for. And I'm going to put my hands on him. It's going to be great.
So you're upset with him. Last time we spoke also about up-and-coming contenders, you spoke very highly of Dominick Reyes. I'm wondering, you sound like you had a tremendous amount of respect for him. Is that still the case?
I know nothing about him, honestly. I know nothing about him. I see the games he wants to play with the insults, and I don't really care. I don't really care. At the end of the day, my job is to destroy this dude and start focusing on 2020. You know what I mean? I'm going to have a great 2020, and it's going to start off by destroying Dominic. I don't know. Hey. This guy. Hell of a drug, huh? Stupid. That's gonna follow me for a long time, huh? But yeah, man. I don't know what I want to do to him, man. I don't know if I want to knock him out, choke him out, but dude, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. I promise you guys.
I got one more for you, Jon. So this is your first time fighting in the great state of Texas. What took so long? Are you excited?
I am excited to fight in Texas, being a guy who lives in Albuquerque. You know, a lot of my friends will be able to get over there. I love Texas, man. You guys are gun toters. I'm a big gun toter. Big fan of the Second Amendment. Hell yeah. You guys are my type of people. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Who's got the next question? Go ahead.
Jon, this question's for you. Back in September, you tweeted that you had a really big fight announcement. It was going to be huge, and then a few months later, we got this fight. Was there a fight that maybe fell through in the midst?
Yeah, back when she asked me about tweeting in September about having a big fight announcement. I was trying to get a Stipe Miocic fight, and I thought that maybe it would happen, but instead we have Stipe DC3. But at the moment, I was so ready to go heavyweight and stick my fangs in some of those big fellas. Yeah.
And then a little bit after that, you tweeted that a win over Dominic wouldn't do anything for your career, and you wanted super fights, and it sounds like that's what you're angling for. Is there? Do you still feel that way? That
I do feel like Dominic has everything to win in this situation. You know, he's relatively unknown, but that's why I'm training as hard as I can. You know, I was 240 last week. I'm 230 this week. I'm taking him extremely seriously. I watch his fights every single day, and because he's unknown, you know, people would expect someone in my position to take him lightly, and that's where guys in my position would fall. You know, I'm reading a book called Relentless right now, and it talks about being a cleaner, and I'm trying to be a cleaner, dude. I wanna dominate for years and years to come, and so I got to take him very seriously.
I read that book like 3 years ago, so
It's a good book.
It's a good book.
It's a great book. I'm glad you did. I'm reading it right now.
It might have helped me get here, to be honest.
You know, I'm reading it right now in this training camp leading into beating your ass.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, Johnny boy. Not gonna happen.
Great response, Dominic.
And this one's for Dominic. Dominic, you tweeted that you implied that there was a spy in your camp, and I'm curious if there was, if you can elaborate on that, and what happened after that.
I don't know. Is there a spy in my camp, Jon?
You're not that important, Dominic.
All right, Jon. We'll see what happens, though, man. We'll see how important I am when you're on your back, though. We'll see how important I really am.
I'm taking you serious, bud. I'm taking you serious. Just know that. I'm taking you serious. But you're a pawn in this game, bro. I've been talking about it for a long time. Like DC, like all of them, bro. You're a pawn in this game.
Say I'm a pawn?
You're a pawn in this game, bro.
How so?
You're just a piece in this puzzle, bro.
Piece in the puzzle?
I'm trying to be great, bro, and you're just a part of it. You're a small part of it.
As am I. And you're just another pawn in my puzzle.
That's fine. Everyone's undefeated before they fight me, bro.
No, they're not. They're not, though.
You're
They're really not, though.
Trust me.
You fought one undefeated guy.
Trust me, bro.
But that doesn't matter.
Daniel
What
Cormier,
does it have to do with...
Daniel Cormier was undefeated.
What does Daniel Cormier have to do with me?
Ryan Bader was undefeated.
What does Ryan Bader have to do with me?
You're not special, Dominic.
Oh, I'm the one. I promise you.
You're the one.
You will see.
You knocked out Chris Weidman. He's been knocked out so many times. Good job.
When was the last time you knocked anyone out, ever?
I don't have to knock out people. I have a gigantic skill set.
So you say I don't have to knock out people, but
No,
then
listen,
you try to knock me knocking out people?
The only way, we all know
Jon.
the only way you can possibly win this fight is to catch me with the left. We all know that. I could submit you. I could out-wrestle you. I can kickbox you to death. Bro, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you, Dominic.
All right, we'll see.
You know it.
We'll
You're a
see,
one-trick
Johnny.
pony.
I don't know it, actually.
You're a one-trick pony.
You think you know
Bro,
it.
we saw your highlight
I don't.
reel. It was straight left. Straight left. Straight left. Left
Hey,
uppercut.
home runs work, baby.
Yeah, they do. They do. At a certain level, they do.
Yeah, this level.
Good response, Dominic.
Does somebody have another question?
Yeah.
Who's next?
Right here in front, Dana. For Dominic, I was wondering, Jon's last fight was against Thiago Santos. It was a pretty close fight. Was there anything that you could have learned, do you think, from that fight that you could apply when you fight Jon?
You could always learn something from your opponents when they fight. I mean, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. When we fight each other, we're adapting to each other. What he did in his past, what I did in my past, doesn't matter on fight night.
And then just for Valentina, quick. The other day, Amanda Nunes was asked who her toughest opponent was, and she said it was you. And I was wondering, do you think at some point down the line you guys will fight again?
As I said, and I every time say that this potential fight could happen because, you know, it's so much out. It's not depends of me, it's not depends of her. It's gonna happen sometimes. I don't know where, I don't know when. Right now I'm focused in my weight division, flyweight, because I was waiting this opportunity for so long. I was competed against like bigger opponents, heavier, longer arms, legs, and now I have opportunity finally to fight with the same size opponent. But about the third fight, yeah, I think if it's happened, it's gonna happen in the perfect place, perfect time, and the perfect opportunity.
Dana, what do you think between Valentina and Amanda Nunes?
Yeah, anything's possible. I was talking about it the other day. I mean, if you look, if Weili Zhang can continue to dominate, and then you got Valentina and you got Amanda, there could be a lot of movement there with all three of them, which could be fun later on down the line.
Another question for you, Dana. Last night was Quintet, fun grappling tournament that was on Fight Pass. Cub Swanson tore his ACL and his meniscus in that tournament, and I was wondering, is that a danger? Is that a risk for UFC fighters?
I was literally sitting right behind him when it happened, and it's horrible. And you know, these grappling things for them are supposed to be fun and go out. But when you have some of the best in the world grappling against each other, these are the type of things that happen. I mean, that wasn't really a submission that he had him in, and his knee popped out. So he's getting a MRI today, and we'll see where he's at. Hopefully, it's something that just needs some physical therapy and not surgery. And yeah, I hate it. Hate it.
And just a couple things for Jon. You tweeted last week, I think it was, that you're walking around heavier this camp, but you feel the same strength-wise and agility-wise. I was wondering, is there any reason why you're doing that, and do you think that move to heavyweight could be coming sooner rather than later?
Yeah, after this Thiago Santos fight, I was at a place where I wanted to start entertaining the heavyweight division. I've been wrestling my brother my whole life. I've been going with Andre Arlovski and Overeem and all these big guys my whole career. And I've always done well. You know, at 240, I move just as fast as I do at light heavyweight. My versatility, I realize, is not things that most heavyweights would do, spinning things, flying knees, things like that. And I feel really good. I think the time is going to be really close. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened this year. Well, I'm sorry, in 2020. Yeah, I was 240 not too long ago. Right now I'm living with my nutritionist. And I built a home gym in my garage. And I feel really, really good right now. I'm 230 with a six-pack. And I just feel like I'm going to be bigger than Dominic, just more athletic, just more hungry, more to prove, more on the line. This shit means so much to me. This is my life, dude. This isn't like just some. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
And do you think heavyweight could be next after this fight?
I think it's a very strong possibility. Absolutely, absolutely. There's always going to be someone next. You know, I feel as if I've cleared the division, and I'm waiting around, and I'm taking on new challenges. I'm not sitting on the title. I'm not hiding from anybody. I chose Dominic because he appears to be the best out of all my contenders, and dude, I'm just ready to just take over the world, man. Really.
One more question. Colby Covington fights on Saturday, and you go way back with him, and a lot has been made. Is this an act? Is what he's doing? Is it real? Is it really him?
Yeah.
You've known him for a long time. Was that him back then?
Yeah, Colby's a habitual liar at the end of the day. He really is. I mean, he told the fans that we lived together for 2 years. We lived together for 1 semester. He's just, I've made a lot of mistakes, and a lot of people don't consider me to be a good person, but, I mean, coming from me, Colby's a really bad person. He really is. He really, really is. I mean, there's no coincidence that, Tyrone Woodley got to know him and hates him. Masvidal got to know him and hates him. I got to live with him and really don't like him. If any of you guys got to know him, man, he really is a rotten person. I think the MMA community is going to start to see it over the years.
All right, I'm going to square these guys off here right now, and thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming.